Holly here from Your Past is a Gift. Okay, so going on with the topic of guilt and how, we keep talking about certain feelings when we latch onto them and we let them take over, they stop us from connecting, okay? And so I'm going to share, one of the main things that's happened with me with guilt, so that many of you might start to look at it in a different way, because we seem to think that these feelings are there and they make us feel bad or they're there to protect us, But if we're living in anger, we're living in shame, we're living in guilt, all of these feelings get in the way of letting us connect with others. But they're there telling you every single day that there's something in you that you're not accepting. There's something that you've decided about yourself and it's not allowing you to connect to others. And so that's why these feelings keep showing up. So in these videos, I wanted to address guilt because for me, that was a big one, for many, many years. When parents say to their kids, you've got everything, what have you got to complain about? Why are you unhappy? We give you everything, and they're talking about material things, or they're talking about maybe they paid, for private school, because I went to private school when I was in primary school thinking, my parents thought they were going to give me a better education going to private school. And it ended up being totally backward for me, because it really messed with my head. So another topic for another video, because I don't want to get off the topic of the guilt. But, okay, talking about how guilt gets in the way. For the longest time, we were living paycheck to paycheck, with my husband. And so there was nothing left over, ever. And not only that, but we were usually behind with the bills, scraping to get to that next bill and always behind and always having to call up to say we need an extension. And that was our life. We're just collecting debt. And then we get to a certain point where we couldn't collect any more debt to have the lifestyle we wanted. And so we'd always be behind. So there was never any saving to do anything, And for the longest time, I felt like a failure. I felt like there was that guilt again because I desperately wanted to see my parents that were overseas, but I never had the money to buy the ticket to go and see them. And that guilt, that shame that kept, coming up in me of not being a good enough daughter to them because they gave us everything. They gave us the best life that they could give us. They gave us their love. They gave us everything, my parents, So I can't look back on my childhood and say that I missed anything with them. I didn't. I had everything I needed in every sense, not just talking material things, but I'm talking everything. And so I felt like a failure, once I got past the stage of the anger, because if you read my book, there was a stage there where I left and I came back to Australia. And for many years, I was angry with them, because I felt disrespected as a human being, as an adult, that wanted to have her own life. And so there was that anger for a long time, which we've addressed the anger in previous videos. Once I got past that, then there was the guilt that I wasn't good enough to save up for a ticket to go and see them. I was always behind with money. I was always struggling financially. And with that came this sense of, I can't talk to them. I couldn't talk to them, because this guilt and this shame would just overwhelm me. And I just felt like if I had to talk to them, I wanted to cry. I just felt like I couldn't talk to them. I felt like I'd failed them, after all they'd done for us, for me and for my sister. I just felt that I'd failed them, that I wasn't reciprocating that love back to them. And it's funny because in this last few months, we started doing WhatsApp with them, and I just love being on the phone and video chatting to them and just that every morning having that conversation and getting in touch with them. Okay, I'm not there to hold them, their hand. I'm not there to give them a hug. It's not the same. I know it's not the same, but at least there's that communication. where we're sharing our stories. I can tell her what my daughter's doing, and actually she shows, grandma and grandpa over there. I'll be videoing, and she'll be like, oh, can I show them how I do this? Like when she was learning to write the letters and the numbers, and they'd sit there and they'd watch her do it. So it was almost like we were in the same room, sharing all her new experiences, with her grandparents. And that to them is priceless, even just that. They love being where they are overseas. That's their home, and that's where they feel they are at home. That's where they want to live. But for us, my life is here in Australia, and I love being here. And not only do I love being here, but I live in a suburb that I just feel is, to me, home. We know all the neighbours, we know all the people that work at the top of the street, we know everyone at the school. It's just a community where everything's connected. It's just beautiful. So to me, I feel like I'm in heaven where I live. This is home. So it's very difficult, even if we travel, we see each other and all the rest. I just feel I always want to come back here. And for them, if they travel, they always want to go back there. That's where their home is. So, that's what we do. But in between, when we're not together, we still talk to each other. And I don't have that guilt anymore. I don't have that shame anymore of I can't talk to them, because I feel like I've failed them. It's that guilt that comes in, that I've done the wrong thing, that I can't do the right thing with them. So I want you to think today, for you, if you have that kind of relationship with a parent, if you're a parent and you have that relationship with with one of your children, or with a sibling, a brother or a sister, or someone that you feel you can't talk to, and it's the guilt that's getting in the way. It's the guilt or the shame that you've done something wrong, that you feel. You've said the wrong thing, you've done the wrong thing. It can always be made right once you realize. You can always apologize, you can always set it right. It's never too late to do the right thing, ever. I don't believe that. It's never too late. The only thing is, you have to understand that the other person may not be ready. You're ready to let it go, and you've realized. And that's your awakening, that's your step forward. But everybody's in a different place of evolution. So, you may have to put it out there. Take that first step, apologize or make that phone call. If you haven't talked to your kids for ages, pick up the phone, give them a call. What are you up to? What are you doing? I miss you. I love you. It's that simple. And if you've never, as a parent, if you've never said I love you to your kids, the first time you say it, they'll probably be overwhelmed. Because for many kids, growing up, that's all they want. That's all they want. They just want to know that you love them, that you think they're amazing. They want to know. They want to feel it. They want to feel that love. That's all that any of us want, is to know that those parents that have brought us into the world, they care about us, they love us. We mean something to them. So if you've been, don't judge it like, oh, I didn't do that for my kids now, and we don't want to feel bad about it. Okay, none of these videos are about you feeling bad. The whole point is to get you away from that feeling bad, so that you can open up, start to feel good, start to connect. And that always comes from a place of understanding that you did the best you could at that time. You did the best you could at that time. It's not about going back and feeling bad about it. It's about understanding where you were in your life at that time. If you raised your kids and you never gave them a hug, you never said I love you, it's not about going back and feeling bad that you never did that. But it's a new day. It's a new day. And the first few hugs will feel awkward. And the first few I love yous will feel awkward for both of you. It will feel awkward for you to say it. It will feel awkward for them to receive it. But the more you do it, the more natural it will become for both of you. And you can reconnect or connect for the first time if you've never really connected to your kids. You can do that. You can start today. Just start by calling them. Hi, how are you going? What are you doing? I just wanted to talk to you. I wanted to hear your voice. Oh, my darlings, it is that simple. We complicate everything, but it is that simple. All right, my darlings, I love you guys. Remember to click like and subscribe below so you don't miss any of the messages. Bye for now.